Okay, so this is basically just one of the replays of the game I had a little earlier this afternoon. Figured I'd just do a live stream of it since it's a little easier to upload it this way. But we'll just kind of give commentary as we go. Ended up being a pretty good game. We've got a chieftain on our team, obviously, of course, and you'll see here in a second he's going to go take Valley. And then I had they had a large contingent go up the left flank, up the up the 2 line, and there's a few of us that went up the middle, and then we had someone hold middle, but they didn't last very long. So let's see if we can turn this up a little bit. And there's where the pattern is asking me to carry town. And we ended up actually doing that. We actually ended up doing really well. They had ended up 5, 6, 7 tanks, and there's the email, which is good. The pattern's pretty decent. 430U went up that way. The Chieftain went that way. T95. Those are all heavily armored tanks, and they were able to hold the valley long enough for us to be able to make an impact in this game with as slow as the mouse is. I apologize, I guess there's not much sound. The tanks, the ambient sound isn't very loud in this replay, but you can kind of see what happens though. We're already down 1-0. KPZ's already died. He died in the middle there. He was at about G4 area. He just got taken out. Their makeup is pretty decent as well. They've got a mouse, Panzer, Progetto 66, all pretty decent things. T50M, VZ55, which is good. Patent pretty decent. Tortoise and Scorp, those are all pretty decent tanks. So here I think though, the enemy team kind of makes a mistake. They push up a little bit too far. The 3A, IS-3A, and the 122. I think they just thought that there wasn't much up here. Luckily, the E50 the E50 on our team and the email both held them off long enough for them to get up here to kind of help push them. But the nice thing about the mouse is, you can't necessarily ignore tanks, obviously, but this is a good matchup because obviously, of course, we're going against Tier 8 vehicles, and the mouse has some really great armor, especially if you're able to push and angle your armor correctly and get into the right position. This just happened to be one that we had a good matchup. And you can see the enemy team actually has a lot of tanks in the valley as well. It's uncommon for both teams to have so many in the valley. But already taking fire from the CS to my right. Decided I'll put a couple into the E50N, get him out of the game. Here I was actually concerned that they were going to push up into my rear, the Patton and the CS53 and the Kunze-Panzer, but they didn't. Luckily the heavy there behind me, the email 2 kind of kept them at bay from pushing me, and we're able to zero out or get the 50 out and help focus him down. So here, a decent game so far. 1,591 damage, 1,080 blocked. And just kind of push the town here. At this point I already know I have to push city, and with the number that we have here and with everyone that's in this town there, we have to push the city. But then their mouse decides to push the middle, and I decided to kind of whittle him down a little bit, do as much damage as I can to him. Right now I'm running just regular AP rounds right now. So I do switch to gold rounds here in a second. Right now it's just AP. I think I try one more regular AP, and then I believe, if I remember right, I switch to gold. But here, just kind of that mouse right there, I just crit him. And I thought, well, I'm just going to leave him, but then I decided to pull back and finish him. I didn't know for sure if our team was going to be able to finish him, and I do finish him with an AP. I thought I loaded gold, but I guess it wasn't. Just regular AP. Diverted that one to scrap metal. So he's down. Now we can push in. not 100% sure. And obviously, of course, Patton's retreated. CS53, I expected him to be up here in the Kunze Panze, and they both are. I expected them to be somewhere up in, A6, 7, A5 area. That's typically where I would have gone as well. The T44 they have in the middle. Not really too concerned about his gun unless I, give him like a flat armor or flesh armor to shoot against. So I do try to angle as I push in. And this is kind of what you have to do with them now. So I mean, you really have to take the fight to the enemy because of the armor that this thing has. It can just take a beating. You just have to make sure you're angling appropriately so you don't take too much damage. And you can see that the CS53 is shooting gold at me. I snapshot him. I got lucky there. I actually got another snapshot up here into this guy too that I'm surprised went in, but in a little bit. Right now I'm just kind of surveying my surroundings, kind of seeing what threats are there. The T44 is gone, so I know that that is no longer a threat, so I angled to the right just a little bit more. Oh, looks like I did go left. Oh, this is when I was trying to come up over the ridge. Okay. So, yeah, I already know there's at least one, possibly two tanks in these bushes here. Obviously, they both shot at me, the Kunze Panze and the 53. Now I've got the 65T. Obviously, there's the Kunze Panze bouncing off me and barely spotted. This Progetto pushes up behind me to help support, as well as the email. I'm just trying to egg these guys to my right to shoot. There we go. I think this is the snapshot I got. I got super lucky on that one because he was just going down below the ridge and backing up, and my reticle hadn't even zoomed in yet. So that was pretty awesome. Here you can kind of see what the team's kind of chatting as well in the chat and kind of get their feeling in the game. I do have some support coming up. We've lost Valley at this point. I figure I'm just going to push in, just angle my armor so it's hard for him to kind of defend me. Going to go to 30 to 45 degree angle. I knew the Kunze Panze had my side, but I was willing to take that risk. Here I'm trying to be careful not to angle my turret too much to show the flat side of my armor to the heavy and the 65T and the mediums over there. But here we got to get the Kunze Panze out. He is definitely the next priority target. Auto aim him and take him out. Trying to zoom out, trying to see what's around. And now you got these guys you got to deal with. It's still a tight game, 9-9. I'm doing decently. Got 4,700 bounced and 4,000 damage there, 4,001. Just gonna stay here with that angle. Let these guys try to bounce off me. As you can see, occasionally they'll do some damage to me, but there's a lot of bouncing. Try not to show them the front part of my turret either. Front on until I'm ready to shoot. I can get hit into the email. He's out. I'm up to 6,800 bounce so far. 4,220. Or sorry, 4,239 damage. Bounce another. I did take a little bit of damage there, gold round from the Progetto. So I kind of re-angle. Chieftain's got some compliments there for us. I bounced this one. I thought I might have been able to get that one, but that's a good tank when it's hold down, so I knew that was going to be a hard time to do. And with this tank, it's only got 313 pen, even with the gold rounds that I'm firing currently, so I knew it was going to be kind of hard to pin that 66. Now at this point, it's just, I know, game's over. I'm just going to try to thread one in here. And the SC's coming up from behind him. I missed my shot. Here's where I just get a little bit cheeky and decide I'm just going to raise my barrel and just have some fun. Let him try to shoot me, wiggle my tank around a little bit. But I didn't get to do that a whole lot. So anyway, decent battle. Obviously, of course, the chieftain, giving some props and some creds. There was in the game, just to kind of get this going here real quick, I do have some screenshots. In fact, I think they are in, I posted in Discord here. So let me just kind of throw them up here real quick. So just looking at it, had 147,140 or 178, 70, is the total coin earned. 7,596 XP. Ended up with 7 bombs there. The damage ended up at 5182 with 1,268 experience. Had 3 medals, and of course I took away 102,526 after repairs, it looks like, on that, as well as 7,770 damage bounced. Anyway, ended up being a good game.